Hey, this is Jim Mulholland with Sci-Fi Real Estate. We have a new data dump with the most recent sales data in the Cypress Northwest Houston area, so I wanted to share that with you guys right now. So basically, every month I'll go out and I'll just pull the data straight from the MLS so we can kind of see what prices are doing in terms of price and price per square foot, days on market, total sales, that kind of stuff. So, and this is for the Northwest Houston area. So it includes Cypress, Northwest Houston, Tomball, Hockley, Katy. So we got a pretty good subset of kind of the market that we work here at Sci-Fi Real Estate, the northwest part of town. So if I get the data starting in January 2020, you can see we had that big bump here during the COVID that kind of peaked there in May 2022. Been fairly flat. I would say 2025 was kind of a flat year, if not a little bit down. January 2026 is the data I wanted to kind of show you. We're down to 345, whereas 2025 in terms of average price was around 350. So we're pretty par for the course in terms of total price. If you look at per square foot, January we were at 156. Again, 2024 we were kind of flat, if not going down a little bit. We peaked in the summer around 163, so now we're at 154. So price is down a little bit. Days on market, usually that peaks in February, January, February, March maybe. We may have peaked in November this year. We had 62 days on the market in November. Right now in January we're at 58, so that's going down a little bit. Home sales were down quite a bit, 552. December almost always peaks because of all the builders incentives trying to get people in December. So that was at 948. Last January we're at 624, so down a little bit year over year. If I take out the new construction, because that does skew the data, and I look a little bit just at the resales, similar story. Prices were pretty level last year. It actually kind of went up a little bit. February 2025 was at 330 on average. We peaked in June at 360. And January this past 2026, right now we're at 343, so kind of right in the middle. Per square foot, we're at 140, 151 in January. Again, we peaked around May at 159, and last February or January at 153. So pretty even, maybe down a little bit at 151 compared to last January at 153. And days on market, again, we peaked, it looks like, at 63 days in November. January's up a little bit from December at 57 days. Our trough was in June at 22 days. Total sales about 352 for the area. And lastly, let's look just at Cypress to kind of just narrow it down to a market that we work. Sales down quite a bit. June average sales price at 460. January we're at 375, so down about $85,000 per square foot. 172 in June, down to 153 in January. Last January we're at 157, so down a little bit. An average price last January was 400. Again, we're at 375. So price is down a little bit, ticking down a bit. So could be good for you people that have been waiting to buy, with home sale prices going down a bit. So total sales in Cypress were at 134. Last January we were at 144. So pretty similar. So down just 10 sales. So in terms of resales in Cypress, again, flat, if not trending down just a tad bit, with interest rates hovering around 6% now for a couple of years. Yeah, this is kind of just the market that we have. So, and I would expect this days on market to continue going down. So if you're looking to sell, now's a good time to sell. The market typically peaks between March and June, and we're in February now, so that peak time is kind of getting here. So if you're looking to sell, now is a good time to put that house on the market. Speaking of homes on the market, months of inventory, great way to kind of see how the market is doing. So this data is actually from the Texas A&M University Texas Real Estate Research Center. You can see that the months of inventory has been ticking up. It kind of troughed there in 2022 after that COVID time frame where we had a lot of supply chain issues. So that was where we dropped. We're basically half a month of inventory. So if you don't understand months of inventory, is basically if you were to sell every single house that's currently on the market now, how many months would it take you to sell all those houses based on how the average time it takes to sell a house historically in the past year. So usually 0 to 3 months is considered a seller's market. 3 to 6 is considered a neutral market, and over 6 or 7 is going to be considered a buyer's market. So we peaked, and this data goes through November 2025. But we peaked our months of inventory here in Cypress at 3.34 months in June, and then in November we're at 3.4 months. So basically 3.5 months. So we're kind of right there on the border between a seller's market and a neutral market. So much more of a neutral market than if you compared it to a few years ago when homes were just flying off the market. And then here's the average prices too, which is kind of the same story that we were talking about in the previous chart. Fairly level, a couple spikes down, and this has a spiking down quite a bit in November, but similar deal. So again, if you want to check this data out yourself and play around, you can do a lot of other stuff on this data. You can look at filter by year built. You can filter on homes with pools. You can filter by subdivision, size of the house, zip code, schools, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to check that out, feel free to go to cypherrealestate.com and check it out. Slice and dice it, play with it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you are looking to buy or sell a house, and I or one of our agents would be happy to help. And that's it. So my name is Jim Mulholland, Cypher Real Estate. Thanks for watching.